Just a handful of Juve bands crossed the stage at South Key in the early hours, and who's in the running for Road March?
The first band crossed the stage before sunrise, a rarity in the last few years. Setting the tone, MX Prime and the Ultimate Rejects, Full Extreme. Drinks in hand, powder in the air. Then there was this band, LOL, Colors, jamming to the extreme. And if you weren't jumping to it via sound system, you sang it, like this band, from Oh Mother Earth. The Desperados would ride into town with their supporters, spend about 8 minutes, and then ride out with the same enthusiasm. They'd be followed by Renegades. A lone devil in the streets, and the return of the Black Jacobins with Reparation Mass. By 8 a.m., with a lull in the arrival of bands, South Key looked a ghost town. The crowds that came into the city dispersed. Bare sidewalks and empty VIP stands. Notably absent, ministers of government. We then headed uptown and caught up with the tail end of 2 Juve bands on the corners of Tragreet Road and Cipriani Boulevard. The Yellow Devils were tightly packed. On the boulevard proper, the Dirty Medics were beating it on the road. And we saw one casualty up the road. Leron Brummel, C News.
Juve celebrations in San Fernando got off to a fine start, with several bands crowding the streets of the southern city. P&M councillor for Springville Paradise, Nigam Joseph, stepped out of his band and stepped in for the mayor, who was not present, to declare the Juve open.
As Nigam Joseph, the convener of Carnival, I would like to thank every one of you, including the media, for coming out here today and supporting San Fernando, because San Fernando Juve is the greatest Juve in the world.
Masqueraders certainly had a great time jumping up to Ultimate Rejects' Full Extreme. Not to mention these gorillas who played their part well. And like Trinidad, Tobago was alive with Juve celebrations throughout the island. In Tobago East, the village of Roxborough saw a large number of Juve bands on the road. In the capital of Scarborough, there were a few Juve bands in the usually quiet capital, while hand music took center stage, as was promised by Carnival Committee Chairman George Leacock. Mr. Leacock took part in one of the Juve bands in Scarborough, Radio Tambourines, a tribute to Calypso Rose, which saw different portrayals of some of Rose's more popular songs. New Wave Designs was another Juve band in Scarborough with the theme Take a Bathe. One of the main judging points in Scarborough was at the Market Square car park.
And I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Well, I say Scarborough Juve still...
Scarborough Juve is absolutely wonderful, whichever Juve has fan sites. Fan sites have not been on the road for 100 years, and getting fan sites on the road is a big victory for us this morning.
Crown Point, far west of Tobago, however, saw the largest crowd this morning. So much so that there were clashes among the different bands as they appeared before the judges. Locals and tourists alike had a great time jamming to soca music. At around 10 a.m., the police ordered all music to be stopped, bringing an end to Juve celebrations in Tobago.